All right, we are live. What up? What up? Hello, everybody. I wrote an intro this time. Aren't you guys proud of me? Um, yeah, finally. There's a plot twist at the end. It's going to be pretty funny as well. Well, now to do my manufactured intro that I won't announce that I'm doing next time. Welcome to the Ranting Hour, where we rant for at least an hour. Sometimes about the in-between stuff. It doesn't make it into a video. It's at least an hour, sometimes maybe more. Screwed up the intro already. I read that backwards. Anyways, we generally have an idea what's going on. We go where the wind takes us. If we go off the rails, so be it. Tonight, I am welcomed by the illustrious ink welder. Accidental alliteration. Chat is on screen for once. I figured that out last stream when I had no idea what I was talking about. I'm going off the rails already, and I didn't put ink on the screen. So let's fix that. Boom. Sick. Anyways, wait. Let me do the intro fully. Before we get started, whether you're watching live or catching the VOD, do me a favor and like the video. It helps out a ton. I know you guys love this content, so help spread around. And if you're watching the VOD, be sure to leave a comment afterwards as well. Timestamps will be up eventually. Thank you in advance to NLR because he's always got my back. And if you are interested in hitting us up, I am always hanging out on the TCC Discord. Special thing, Mark's birthday is this week, and he's going to be streaming right afterwards, so I'm going to direct you guys to that afterwards. But yeah, TCC server, Discord link in the description. Very rigorous server. Always good with the facts, and it's also pretty entertaining. So if you want, got a lot of the people in the chat are in there right now, so catch us in there. The funny part that I was alluding to was that I said I wrote an intro, but I didn't say I finished it. So I just freestyled it at the end. It was good enough. Yeah. Hello, Ink. How are you doing, bud? That's good. I feel that. Oh boy, Ink's feeling a little violent today, guys. I'm feeling pretty chill. I just hit AR-45 in Genshin. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Oh no, they don't. Oh my god, you guys missed all that. No! Oh, something's always wrong. No. I hate it here. Oh man, that's an L. All right, what about now?
All right,
you should hear him now. Jesus, why didn't that work? Damn it.
Wrote the intro and then screwed everything else up.
I can't get anything right. Yeah. I should tell. I saw 8. I'm like, they're about to judge me for being late. Let me just start it now. And I didn't test anything beforehand, but that's such an L. We're off to an L already, guys. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, you want to salvage? I wish you guys would have heard what he just said. Maybe it's for the better that you didn't.
I'm ready. I'm ready for ranting. I need ranting after all the pings that I got on Discord today about Iroha. I'm definitely ready to rant. I'm well fed from making my own food for once, which is nice. It feels like the world is recovering a little bit, that we're starting to return to normal. So
yeah, I've definitely felt that.
Yeah, it's nice to just make your own food.
Yeah,
but
hung out with the family this weekend. Celebrated 4th of July. It felt normal. It feels good. I felt to get good touch some grass, breath of fresh air, all that good stuff. What were you gonna say?
I traveled. I got delayed in travel. Still made the best of it. And I want to say we ate at like 16 restaurants in 4 days. Maybe it was closer to 20. Oh, wow. I haven't actually counted it out, but we went ham. And just ate a ton of food, and now I am focused on healthy eating and running to cancel out what I just did.
Yeah, I've been a mess this past week too. I don't remember if it was the last stream, but I mentioned I messed my back up deadlifting, and so I fell way off the wagon. I was ordering fast food. I had fried chicken and Parmesan fries last night. And I told myself today I couldn't even finish the fries last night, but I ate the fries this morning with my eggs. I'm like, you know what? All right, we're back on the wagon tomorrow morning. My back's not hurting anymore. We're getting back into it. It was good to celebrate, but now we gotta grind. RBK saying it was either late or messing up. Can't have both.
You've got quite a reputation.
I'm trying to correct it. It's a double-sided thing because it's low expectations, so I can perform above mediocre and be praised for it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like I'm perpetuating the stereotype.
And
CPT.
And GG Tube, we don't at all assume that everyone celebrates 4th of July. Most of the people that I work with don't celebrate it at all, and also a lot of Americans don't even give a crap about the holiday. They really don't celebrate it at all. They sit around, they do nothing, which is totally okay because you get a day off from work. So that's the best part.
I'm also starting my campaign against firecrackers. I hate them all. Everyone who uses them is obnoxious, and I don't like you. And you scare dogs. That's the mortal sin. My poor dog was shaking. I almost wanted to cry. I almost want to cry right now, bro. He was shaking so bad. He was scared of the. We had a compression jacket on him. He couldn't stop shaking. Oh my god! And all the firecrackers were going off. I'm like, y'all. There were people like dying of firecrackers. I know a dude who got his eye blown out by one. People like getting blown in their chest and losing like fingers and stuff. I'm like, y'all really got to do that and scare dogs at the same time. Y'all some cold ass dudes, man. Stop using the firecrackers. Leave the dogs alone.
My puppy was so upset. He did not like it at all. But
let me correct. It wasn't my dog. It was my parents' dog. But it's a greyhound, and big dude was just shaking. Like, oh, he's such a sweetheart. Don't scare him like that.
Man. Firecrackers. I'm not a fan either. I mean, it's cool to look at for like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, but after that, it's like, okay, there's other things to look at. But hey, can we start shitting on Iroha?
Oh,
is it time for that?
lead the pack. Oh, so I consulted with Ink slightly about what we're gonna talk about today, but then I put honestly, because how deep are we in the stream now? We're at 7 minutes in. People probably tuned out if they weren't already. I put Iroha sucks in the title just to experiment, because if I just say someone sucks in the title, I wonder if people clicked it more. So I didn't have that much to say about Iroha, but it just so turns out that Ink got really. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but this is glorious to me that he has a lot to say about Iroha. That's great. So let's have you kick it off, shall we?
Is she the worst? Like outside of, honestly, is she worse than Fujin?
No. Slow your roll, Slim. Slow your roll.
So at least Fujin has a kit, but Iroha's auras they're convenient like Zac or Vayne, right? So she has the auras of a primary, like someone that all they normally do is damage. Mm-hmm. That's her level of auras that she has.
Yes.
What? Yeah.
Noel's an example.
For sure.
Do you think I said no? I said Noel.
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought you said no.
Yeah.
You need to say Noel like Mark when we're streaming, just so he says Noel. Okay. That's a lot easier to understand. So say it wrong like Mark.
Yeah, it's just the way I talk, but I feel I'll do it. I got you.
But her auras are dreadful. How many times, and Aluena, who is Mino in chat, is like, did you fix the infographic yet?
He says that every stream.
You put 40% max brave instead of 20. Yes, it's 20. We're at the era now where we can't get numbers from like our normal sources, and so we have to go curate and do a lot of other number validation. And Iroha was particularly a pain in the ass because she has a C50, which boosts her attack and max brave on a buff that boosts party attack and max brave. But
Ing, did you fix the?
Oh my god, he literally just explained that.
I am signing out of work.
Jesus.
I can't listen to every
guys,
single...
I forgot to put this in the intro. Mino is, if you haven't already joined the TCC server, Mino is jumping back on the podcast. So he has a convenient excuse to not make a channel anymore. So if you guys want to catch him there, because he might not be on here as much. So if you want to get more Mino, please join the TCC server. Link is in the description. Shout out to Mark. Podcast every Thursday at a time that I can't pull out of my head right now. It's 9 Eastern, I think. Come through for that.
Anyway, sorry if you missed it, Ink. I mean, if I missed it, Ink. If you, I didn't catch your.
He quite literally finished the sentence and then you joined and asked. So when you run it back, you're gonna look like even more of a dumbass.
It's really hard to tune in on time when it never starts on time. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
So,
I have nothing good to say to that. Go ahead, Hank.
Look, it doesn't matter whether her aura for Max Brave is 40%, 20%, or fucking 300%. It doesn't matter. She still doesn't do that much.
Yeah, none of y'all are noticing a 20% M Brave aura.
Yeah, and it's so tiny and insignificant, and also
it really is because I wanted to point out when I streamed Sunday or whenever the fuck Ash dropped, Ash gives herself 100% Max Brave, and people can't even notice that. I think that results into like 10k or something because her base Max Brave is so fucking pathetic or something.
Yeah, that's why until we have a way to properly, like easily, I am not looking for someone's spreadsheet that they did that has all these numbers listed out, unless it is calculating the all-in stats of characters, where it's saying like, hey, we're considering all of their unique passives, we're considering their generic passives, we're considering all of just every inch of the character, any boosts from weapons, from limit breaks. There's so many numbers that go into the game.
Bro.
How are you guys doing it, actually? Out of curiosity, now.
So now we use Leo Bob's translations, we use Famitsu, and we use Compendium. And occasionally we have to use Call Finder, Rem's Call Finder. It's such a pain. And like, for example, we needed to ask Quetz, who had the data, but it wasn't published yet in MateriaBot because he's working on the updated version. So we can't use MateriaBot as much anymore either. And that's what's creating like the challenge. There's just a lot. Obviously, Tellute's done it. Like we have research documents published for, I want to say he just finished Yuna or something.
For your patrons,
like
right?
That. Yeah, for our patrons.
Yeah, so if y'all want to see the early data, since Ink hasn't plugged with Patreon, there's a Tonberry True Patreon. I don't know how to find it, but it exists. So y'all go support them, all right? I'm gonna just say that. Don't take this shit for granted.
I feel like it should be easier if you just stick to Compendium now, right? That's how a bunch of people caught the error in the first place. I think they just loaded up the buff tab and the gear tab and the crystal passives tab, and then you can like just go down the list and start adding. Because that's easier than checking like 3 or 4 different sources.
Yeah, that buff pad page is pretty. If you guys aren't aware, there's the DecidiaCompendium.com. Great alternative. I use it all the time.
Yeah, so Compendium is amazing. I admit that, but it is manually done. It is manually up-tipped. Tier Helicopters does a great job of taking care of it. And I ping the guy whenever I find a problem, when I'm validating data. I will always ping Copters and say, hey, just so you know, this is off, this needs to be fixed. Dude fixes it within like a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they are super, super fast. So I don't take it for granted or anything, but we can't just use that.
Yeah.
I used Compendium for Yang when we were doing Yang, and there were 3 things that were off when I validated, and it actually ends up taking longer because then I need to go to Famitsu, then I have to go to Leo Bob, and then I'm trying to validate numbers. And this is just a QA portion, right? Because Tellute already did this. He already went through and listed all this stuff, but now we need to validate it, and then on top of it, Animander is doing it also. So it just becomes like this unwieldy, like crazy thing to validate little numbers that ultimately equate to like that. It's part of the problem. Does it matter that something has 80% overflow versus 200% overflow?
No.
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I was slightly related before you go on to that. I was my first attempt of the JP Yuri intertwined will video, I was talking about how God forbid you get a rework, an LD board rework, a level 90 EX Awakening 2, C65 Awakening, and a new weapon all at the same time. Or I said LD word, but all that's like 6 different things all at once, and I am just perpetually overwhelmed because I've almost given up in JP to the point of knowing what the fuck anyone does, because I just know it gets better. That is almost always sufficient enough, you know. But go on, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into other games too much, but a lot of other games have a max button. When you're looking at a character's profile, you can click a button that says max, and it'll show you what their stats and all their stuff is at max, and that would be great. That would make things a lot easier for us to compare, that it was taking into account these different things. But I get it, percentages and party auras are a thing, and it creates complexities. But it just, the important thing is that these numbers don't help you as a player do anything differently in battle, right? You will take a team to Lufenia and you're like, oh crap, we're not hitting very hard. Oh man, it's because I don't have enough Max Brave. I've got Ashe, Mog, and Sarah on a team, and the Max Brave is abysmal, right? Like, okay, I need to fix that. You can come out of the fight, you look at it, you try it, and you're like, something's off here, let me go fix it. Until we have a way to enter 3 characters, and I know Rem was actually working on this, like a party builder, where you can enter 3 characters in, and it'll spit out all their stats, it'll spit out how many buffs they have, debuffs they have, etc., so that you can check. Like, until you have something like that that's easily accessible, you're going to struggle. And then, oh, what happens when someone pinged me and was like, hey, just so you know, Eldnarsh's LD doesn't inflict warp. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, your graphic's wrong. And then I looked it up and I was like, no, you're wrong. You don't have the LD board. And they're like, yeah, I don't have the LD board. Does that change anything? And it's like, oh my God. So, and look, everyone's nice. And I would rather get pinged and messaged about wrong information that we can go fix than let wrong information percolate into the community and spread misinformation. Yeah. So I would always rather correct it. So I never, ever mind getting messaged, ever. That's great. I do wish that Square Enix would give more character board points to people so that we don't have new players just sitting around with LD boards only. I will keep... I'm hoping that you don't want to miss this, that Josh mentioned in the last stream, is that we're getting character board points so that people stop complaining about that, including myself.
Wait, what? As in, like, increased character points?
Maybe a blessing, a care package.
Yeah, either a care package or increasing the amount that we get from boards, making them permanently available from lost chapters and story that had them, so that you can go back and earn them. Like, there's so many things they could do.
Approaching the anniversary point where JP got it in about 3 months.
Yes,
2 months? 2 months. Yeah, 2 months.
Oh God, really? Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wait, you got it at Yuna?
No, they got it. Yeah, they got it a little past. Yeah, BT Plus, right? Yuna was the last. No, XF was the last one, huh?
Yeah.
And then anniversary, we got, was it 100,000 character board points? Yeah, Indolent Lord said, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I still maintain, and this has nothing to do with Iroha, obviously, or anything, but I still maintain that we won't get a global first. It doesn't make sense to get a global first LD weapon. That is not something that you don't want to miss the next stream for. Josh has never said you don't want to miss the next stream and then revealed Vivi. That kind of hype didn't come when he announced Balthier or Vincent or anybody like that. Or Vincent wasn't even announced, I guess, but Balthier. They didn't preface it with that. So it means that we're getting something, I'm hoping, that's more interesting than just a first character that's going to speak to, like, if Fang got, I know it's not going to be Fang, but if Fang got her LD first to GL, 50% of people would care, maybe? Maybe. So it feels like whatever they're doing has to be something that speaks to a larger percentage of players than just a single character. So Maybe it's a campaign of some sort. Maybe it's a new game mode. Maybe it's weekly Abyss. I secretly hope it is weekly Abyss. That would be the best thing.
Your head's in the clouds, bro. My hope is that I want them to stop doing fucking co-op on stream because that shit's ass. Oh my lord, how many?
Yeah, that's the announcement,
the announcement is we're done co-oping on stream because nobody likes watching this. Or maybe
I
we're
think they're gonna announce the 100K character points.
I'm not expecting anything worth value. My expectations are in the dirt. More Abyss would be dope. Ink is smoking that grass you talked about, Mark.
They have to look. This is a game. They have to keep people interested, and it's either that or they're fixing Vincent. Right, like, and they're not going to do that. I don't see the likelihood of them doing an LD first. Even if they did LD first Leo, who I love, I still wouldn't be that excited for an LD first at this point. Like, I need some variety. I am tired of the Lufenia salad. It is boring as hell. Give me something more regular, because I used to look forward to Entropy every month. It was great. And now we've got Transcendence, which is also fun, but it's every 2 months. And Boss Rush is not different enough, at least in my opinion, it's not different enough to actually command like how interesting Transcendence is, where there's planning involved. You need to understand different bosses, and you have to do some setup and planning. That's a lot of fun. I miss the days. Do you remember when back in the day when the meta team was Rem, Dark Knight, Cecil, and Firion? It was during the 60 Awakening. It was like wave 2 of 60 Awakening. And it was the shit to run Dark Knight, Cecil, Firion, and Rem. And Rem only healed Firion for battery and left Dark Knight Cecil to basically like kill himself. And it was great. It was so much fun. That team was awesome. And you could throw them at very specific heretics. And it was very enjoyable to like take a cast of characters that like, oh, I have minimal investment in these characters. I just have some 35 CP, some base weapons or whatever. And the characters themselves worked so well together that they overcame a stage that I miss that time of the game, and I would like to go back to it.
What is the Lufenia salad? That's a very interesting term you coined there.
It's bland. I want some croutons. I don't know. And it might be that I'm doing research, and that's like I'm taking Animander's research, and Animander really likes researching the fights, and he's doing an amazing job at it, by the way, making my life way easier, because I used to spend a ton of time like tweaking the Luf research, and now I think he's adapted it so that it's way faster. But just looking at fights ahead of time and knowing what's coming, it makes executing the fights not as much fun. Like, I've always found fights like Arenea's first event, Beatrix's first event, when we got these given to us that we had no foresight on, all of the Abyss stages, I always find that content more fun. So this is probably a me problem. I acknowledge that. But I also think that it would be fun for people to have more diverse content modes like readily available in the game, right? You look at other games and it's usually not just one primary way of playing the game. There's usually a couple different modes, and you can pick any mode you want, or the modes have different timings. I don't know. Maybe I am smoking the grass. Whatever.
I do like that you put it into perspective that it might be a you problem, because it is correct that there. No, I'm not saying That's not a diss on you, but I'm saying like that's something that we touched on before you went on vacation, right? Like, part of the burnout might be because you're doing all this fucking research when like you're not experiencing the game fresh, like you said, like you're already dissected it in and out. Like, dude, people who work on games don't like playing their own games. That's a fact. You talk to any game dev,
sure.
They're like, why would I play the game when we had to like QA test it for fucking years and like work on it and we know it inside out? Like, there's no fun to it. So I'm saying like, we were on like this tear a week or two ago about how like sometimes content creators need to step down So I do like I do like that you have some perspective. Is like maybe I'm getting less enjoyment because I'm so deep in. And right, like that is something to consider, and that goes to all these people who aren't content creators in the chat too, that are always like, I wish GL had more new stuff so I didn't know what's coming. Like, is it really that bad to not look at things? It feels like there's a lot of players who are like, I wish I was surprised, but I can't stop obsessively reading Tonberry Troop every week to know exactly who to bring to these fights, which is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, guys.
That's just a drug.
Hold on, I have to address Indolent Lord's
Thank you,
chat,
because that was I was trying not to laugh.
Fuck that. Play Edward and you'll get the crouton experience you've been looking for. No, I missed that chocoboard. The chocoboard that said run Edward in 15 quests. I did not do it. I let it go. I still have his LC incomplete. I cleared it, but I did not complete it because the third, the middle mission requires you bring Edward. Screw that. I refuse to adapt my gameplay. I don't want to do something that I don't want to do just because a game told me to do it. If a game tells me to do something, I'm not just going to do it for like some digital currency. I don't care. Also, I'm like,
okay. Time out, Dreamy. Time out. If you said Infighter left the game, that's be worth something. Did you see what Infighter said? He just said it's been a long. I talked to him personally. He stopped playing the game just because he wasn't. He literally said on his community post it didn't have anything to do with the current content. He just said over time he just wasn't feeling it anymore because he's been playing it 3 years. So slow down with that.
But I do think that is a shared sentiment among many, not necessarily in JP, but well, I've talked to JP players and also, but I think that there is a shared sentiment that the game needs like just a little bit more variety. They need to explore their design space a little bit more.
Shared among who?
Huh?
Shared among who?
Shared what among what?
You said a shared sentiment.
Oh.
I don't share that sentiment.
Oh, no, right. So I think that a lot of players feel burnt out from the last month. I mean, they talked about it on the podcast like 3 weeks ago, right? Like when Kreese decided to step away from the podcast, they talked for 20 plus minutes about
that was so
like,
fucking fun. Now
burnout.
that you bring it up, because you brought it up,
No,
I can hit on it. But it's fucking Mark's like, hey guys, let's all remember that as content creators, you know, like if you're down on the game, if you're negative, you don't have to broadcast your feelings because, you know, as content creators, you have some influence and, you know, you can be a downer to the community. And then Arrow and Kreese immediately go on a 20-minute tangent bitching about the game. So I thought that was fucking hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah, no. So, like, look, I think that the game, and if you live in the questions chat, like I spent a lot of time in questions.
Oh no!
Chat
There's your problem. No wonder. Oh.
It's like I'm getting tired of this game, and I don't know why. Every day I'm on main court.
God, you're grinding your face against a fucking cheese grater. Are you kidding me? No wonder.
Yeah, I run the infographics. I run the website. Like I don't know why I'm so tired of this game. I'm getting burnt out.
Honestly, from the question side of things, it's a refreshing perspective that new players have because they have that like excitement when they're trying to clear their first Lufenia or they're trying to go backwards and stuff.
Love yourself.
Like I think that's cool. By the way, there's a person I don't remember who it was that posted on Reddit that was like, hey, here is an evaluation of all the previously, like all the permanent Lufenias. They posted like with current characters from current banners, how you could take down these older Lufenias. Like, oh my God, credit to that person. I would never want to do that because that's a moving target, right? You're going to have to constantly update your post with different banners, with different strategies for different fights. It's a nightmare. When most players can just like crush it and like delay it, pull the start dash banner to beat Beatrix LC and crap like that. I don't know.
Wait, are you saying it's a good thing or a bad thing that those posts exist?
I think it's a good thing that the person made the post and that they did it. But myself as a content creator doesn't want to work with moving targets.
Well, yeah, that's fair. And like I was actually surprised. Those posts are very well received. I think he just put one up last week or something. And I was like, does this really need to be said? Like, bring Tifa to 8's Lost Chapter and then crush it. But apparently it's very well received. And I guess from like a newbie perspective, if you're just joining the game like this month or something, you'd be like, oh, if I pull this character, I can run it. I guess there is an audience out there for it. I was pretty taken aback, though, for sure.
It's not easy, right? Like, we take it for granted because we've been playing the game for so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to form a good team, to figure out which calls you need, to, like, that's a lot of data to keep in your head to figure out, like, when you're just randomly throwing a team and you're like, hey, I stomped it on my first try. I used synergy and like these calls and it was really easy. And I use the same 3 calls that I always use, which is like Jack Kurosame and Hope or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But I was going to say, like, sitting in questions chat, you see a different side of the game, which is actually nice. You can... Main court is actually run really well. So shout out to Moya and Shira and Turkey and a lot of the other people that hang out in that, and Kupo. Like, they do a good job of maintaining main court and making it, like, it's come a very long way. It's actually a really good server. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see a new game mode that's more engaging for people that are like a little burned out on Lufenia. That's all I would like to see. I feel like that would be refreshing for the game. And again, like, everyone has said how much they like Abyss, and if they just leaned into that with mini Abyss stages, which they could even reuse the same map week to week and literally just change the codes and modify the permanent bosses that are available, that would be great. Or throw...
I'm gonna just say that sounds horrible to me. I would hate that. That sounds like an unnecessary grind. I already kind of dislike the ultimate weapons bullshit they're doing in JP. It's extra missions that I'm not trying to do. I think you are talking to a lot of the same people, because I like the one and done. If I want to experiment more, I can do it at my own pace. If I got the roster to dick around, then I do sometimes. But other times, you know, I just like stepping back. You know, I think you are in way the fuck deep to where you are too in. This game is on your mind too much, and you're trying to you're trying to fill that gap. And when that gap isn't getting filled, you're looking at the game instead of saying, maybe I should play less. I think I personally think that might be the issue. And I've gone through something similar where I'm like, I want someone else to do, but then I just never mind. And that personally helped a lot for me. So you sitting in questions chat, trying to be helpful all the time, making a lot of content. That's taking up a lot of your mental, dude. And I think maybe that's what's going on.
Nah, if you ask Dreamy, if you ask Dreamy, who I talk to, I talk about Pokemon Masters way more than I do talk about Abrahami at this point.
Well, that's concerning in itself, but continue. if you talk about Pokemon Masters more than this game, I don't know, bro. What
have you considered?
What the fuck?
We need new channel locks. We need to revoke. Necklor doesn't even talk in our secret chat room. Why does he even have the tag? But to back up what BC was saying, touching on an earlier point you guys were talking about, because Ink said, like, oh, I don't think Boss Rush is really that new content. I think Boss Rush is the best content in the game for exactly why BC said. There's two types of people. Two types of players on the Discord that are more hardcore. Either the ones that want to synergy meta stomp everything, or the ones that want to challenge themselves. Boss Rush caters to both. Very, very, very well. Like, every single boss rush that comes has been the most fun thing to watch and discuss in the community, because people can either be like, hey, I brought the 3 super synergies and, you know, I didn't have to try hard. I fucked up. I don't know optimal play. I could still do the content. And then there's people who are trying to run it with 0 synergy and being like, this is really because you're like, oh, boss rush, you don't even have to think about the boss mechanics. Try a 0 synergy run. You really, really have to deal with the boss mechanics. And I'm saying Boss Rush is perfect because it gives people the power fantasy who want to stomp through content, and for the people who are the insane TCC challenge people, they love it too because it's actually legitimately really hard without it. Like, I think the thing when I was doing the no synergy run for TCC Boss Rush, the first thing that hit my mind was, this fight is bullshit. I don't think you can do this without Bartz or Fujin because of that final wave an orb. There's no way to do this without Bartz and Fujin. Like, has anyone tried that without Bartz or Fujin? Like, that's a restrictive ass fucking fight. But most people pulled Bartz and synergy stomped through it. Yeah. So I'm saying, like,
the boss rush people did. People just did Squex Airlines for the last wave.
Was that with a Fujin or Bart's call?
I don't. They may have used Fujin's base call, but yeah, that was it. They didn't, because the team just burns it. The team burns it down, and Panda boosts the orb, right? So
to be fair, that's a little like harder to do too, because not everyone's pulled the entire 3 airlines.
No, I know.
Yeah. So I'm saying like there's a. Sorry. I'm just saying like it can either be super steamrolled through, which is perfect for one half of the audience, or it's like tough as shit to get through for the other side.
Yeah.
And going, sorry, I'll toss it to you. But going back to what BC was saying is like he likes the option of steamrolling through content, and then the optional choice of going back and doing challenge runs, because he's saying the Ultima weapon missions are sort of like a forced increased grind with rewards behind them, right? Like players like us, we like that this is a slower paced game, and then we put the community created challenges on ourselves. Like it's not
make
forced.
Your own game.
It's self-imposed, right? Like make your own entertainment. I always yell at Raw Life and Dreamy, right? Like people are like, oh, I don't want to use my imagination. The game should cater to me. Like you could fucking keep yourself entertained. But I'm just saying that's why I think Boss Rush is like the best content in the game. But go ahead.
Just back off. That's for real. Like I'd be putting the game down, bro. I've been there where I was trying to do a lot of stuff, and I realized that ain't gonna work out for me, because y'all are right. Lufenia does take a minute, and if I feel like screwing around and doing a fight and not the content creating warped that for me a little, unfortunately. Where if I pull some bullshit off and I don't record it, feels a little bad. So I'm a little less incentivized to do that. But like, I don't even like. Sometimes I dick around with the team and I don't even bother finishing. I'm just try to mess around with works. Like, I think I said something about this at some point in my life, but it was more like along the lines of you making your own game. I'm trying to bullshit as I figure out what I'm trying to say here.
Well, while you bullshit, to address Dreamy's saying like, well, it's hard to do that on the latest Lufenias, like Edward's 50 turn requirement. You can't do your own game. Well, first of all, it's a handful of Lufenias that were really bad, right?
Yeah, that's not the norm. Yeah,
like 3 or 4. But if you took all the super restrictive fights in this game and stacked it up against the super loose fights of the game, like we have from like now to fucking forever, like talk to JP players. They're like, holy shit, I can bring a non-synergy, no BT, and blind one-shot Lufenia Plus now. Like, most of the time in this game, you can bullshit around. Yeah. Sure, there's going to be a handful of fights that are bullshit. Some fights that that's don't want to do that. Temporary. It is so temporary. But go ahead.
So I made this comment when Alexander first came out. So like Ultimate Alexander, which was a pretty BS fight. And Alexander kept cleansing, and you look at synergy, and the synergy for it, like Raijin Imperiled Thunder, and Saz had his own debuffs, and the debuff, like having an enemy debuffed, upgraded his aim. And it's like, hey, why are these characters synergy when the boss is countering them? And I listed out a bunch of other examples, and I had said in the post, like, hey, I would hope that, like, if we know that there's a JP mistake that happened in the game, that they tweak it for GL. They could have easily adjusted Edward's turn limit to be 75.
Oh, they don't give a fuck about us. They want our money.
No, but they do. They have probably fixed the Lail co-op. They fixed the Arden Chaos.
Okay, let's
probably. What did they confirm?
Yeah, we actually don't know what they did yet, so that's up in the air. But let's put it. Let's not look at it from what they did for us. Let's look at how much they could have done for us. And
they said that the appearances scale on the difficulty, not on
already
royalty
was
thing.
true in JP. I
Yes,
keep
it
bringing
was,
up.
yes.
That's not a new
Yes,
thing.
that
That's
is
literally what they
yes.
said in
It
Ope.
is entirely dependent
Okay,
on the
okay.
numbers, so we have to
Fair,
wait till it's
fair,
out to
fair,
judge
correct,
it.
correct.
The only thing Squex promptly fix is when they copy and paste a little bit too much, like with Teased and Y'shtola. That is the
Josh
only
is real.
time
He's
they
real
quickly
fucking
fix
tight-lipped
something.
about Kadaj. That's pretty sus if you ask me. They ain't even acknowledged the shit. That's very strange to me. I still don't know. It's been like a month now, hasn't it? I mean, if we can't,
So-
it is not good to go again. People, Square Enix wants their money, guys. They are interested in retention and eventually getting that $5 Mog Pass out of you, and hopefully a Premium Pass. Go ahead.
No, I'll just say the fact that we still have silence on it and it didn't get confirmed in game probably means, to my dismay, that it's working as designed. Which means that it gives Kadaj 27 turns of skill spam. Average across the board of skill spam is around 30. Some characters have 28 or 29. 27 is one of the lower numbers. But you also have characters that people have enjoyed using. I don't know why, but like Sayador, who had
Sayador's dead.
I want to say 23 turns of skill spam.
Jesus,
He's
that's
like,
it? Christ.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Starscream,
but
Josh did not say it was working as intended on stream. He said he passed it on to the team.
He said, for all
Right.
we know, it could be working as intended. That's what he said.
okay,
He
you
said,
know,
for all we
they're-
know.
They're real quiet about it. It's very strange.
It's possible that it's the way it worked in JP or whatever, and they're just keeping it, and that's how it goes. And that's if they do it, it turns Kadaj from a longevity machine where he could spam skills for, God, what was it, like 130 turn quest? It was like RCL level of skill spam.
Nah,
but-
there ain't no way his EX literally not charging is working as intended. That is corporate bullshit right there. I refuse completely. It's bugged. I'm not taking anything other than that. It's not a feature. That's definitely bugged.
On a slightly tangential note, I think when Josh retires after a long and successful career, I think he should really consider becoming an Olympian, because he'd do really well in the relay race, man. He's just so good at passing it along. It's it's just
thought you were
the
gonna go
job
with
of the community
backflips, man.
manager.
I commend you. I thought you were gonna go with backflips.
Can we talk about how Kadaj's gravity is considered magic? Oh yeah, that is. Did anyone actually report that? Because that's pretty fucky too. That I saw people randomly get encountered with that. Like we they don't Square doesn't fuck with us, bro. They want our money. I forgot where I was going with that. I had a point that I was trying to cook in my mind, and then it completely fell by the wayside. So rip that. Yeah, let me take this time to say there's 160 people in the chat and only 41 likes. Y'all better like the motherfucking video. Like, I know y'all are sitting here watching, not doing shit. Do that, please. I'm about to shoot a like. See, it's already shooting up. Y'all could have done it. I know y'all see me in the chat saying, yeah, see, there it is. All right, 45. Everything.
I wish that Kadaj extended all of his buffs on his EX.
That'd
It would be amazing, because then he would work with Selfie. That would actually fix him real well if he had like a Squall EX type effect where he extended his buffs for like 2 turns or something, or 3 turns.
I think what I was trying to say was, if you have an idea about how the fight wants to go, instead of trying to force your strategy into how you think the fight should be able to be fought, see if you can go about that strategy in different ways. That's how I try and do things. I think that's what I was going for. So they want instant break, and they want other bullshit, and people like tanking the attack downing the recast on the Chaos Bahamut fight, like doing stuff like that, living like going around it with stuff like that, and it's not always what you want to do, but viewing the kits less as characters you like and more as means to an end, I think is the best way to get that enjoyment. So if you're like, oh, I want to do this on the stage, but the game won't let me, then just accept that and do something else, and you'll have a lot more fun with it. That's what I wanted to say.
I will say they did pull a really good prank on people that like to run it blind first, because I was just going through that Chaos Bahamut quest, and I was just like, yeah, this is relatively easy. Didn't have Ildnash, right? So let's just preface that, so you know what's coming. He does the whole transform thing, and then it's like, don't let him have a turn, by the way. and I just did not have any means to mitigate or like paralyze or anything like that. So I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm fucked. I've spent like 15 minutes or whatever, like pouring through his health, and now I'm just wrecked because I decided to go about it blind.
Dreamy said, a lot of characters work mechanically for orbs, but can't take the damage. That is power creep. Always has been, always will be.
I wish they put the messages that flash on the screen at the top, like in the boss description, that just says,
yes, they are horrible at that.
There.
They are horrible at that. Like the fucking not Kadash, Kais boss. Like when it said, break the union, it flashed on screen for like a tenth of a second. Like that was ridiculous. I don't know why they're still doing that. Stuff like that. See, when you say like, oh, they fix minor stuff, but then stuff like that's also really annoying that they don't fix.
That's one of the reasons I run things blind, because it would probably take me the same amount of time to run it, get my ass kicked by whatever bullshit they've thrown in, versus reading the like Great Wall of text that China are demanding back because they've stolen it because of the fucking wall. I don't know.
That bomb. Just stop. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. I don't know what you were going for there, but you didn't even stick the landing. You broke your leg, stupid. Oh god, that was horrible. Oh.
In my defense,
don't
defense. No defense.
No, I'm not. They should add the text that pops up on the screen, like the Divine Diablos, when it's like, hey, you need to deal 200,000 damage in chase. Like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could just click on the boss and see, hey, it's going to say you need to deal 200,000 damage in chase? That's really helpful because that has nothing to do with the orb, right? I don't even, was the orb delay? I forgot.
The boss descriptions have been so consistently shit, and we get stickers. We've had more like name stickers than like boss UI quality of life. So that should tell you where their priorities are. Necklord, the chat's calling for you to get banned for that one.
Oh, shit. I'm in shambles.
Dreamy, they don't need to do that because the community does it for them. Yep. I think I said this in the TCC server. Like, what if Square Enix doesn't improve stuff because y'all are working for free for them? That's an interesting thing to think about, isn't it? I mean, I don't even know how to entertain that. What was it? Yeah, the Kais lost chapter. Lost the boss to dispel the buff. Never said. Pikachu, congratulations, Necklord.
Wonder, are they gonna? You have to delay Divine Brothers 3 turns to dispel one of their buffs, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
What, you mean not seeing it because it's going to be on the screen for half a second?
Well, I'm wondering if they're even going to tell us.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Is it really going to say delay 3 turns to dispel the buff? Like, that's a mouthful to put on the screen for like 2 seconds.
Well, they usually localize it as something smaller, like delay 3 turns, or else something like that.
They could do it in proper, Squex fashion. Pass the turns along.
Oh my god, I hate you.
I'm so glad Necklord's here.
Yuya says, is it bad to say X buff will fix a unit when it probably won't happen in global and not enough to be viable in JP? I don't quite know what you mean.
Yeah, the characters are so complex at this point that it usually boils down to they probably should have had a follow-up or some form of additional damage vector. That's oftentimes what it boils down to. Like, Cloud of Darkness is super vanilla and not that crazy if you don't have its BT. Like, if you have the BT, then you can go burr and go nuts. But without that, you are...
Someone clip that.
Don't clip that. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. This is the ranting hour.
Ink go burr. Heard it here first, folks.
Screw you.
There should be a baby mode for me. What do you mean, Yoshi Pasta? What are you trying to get into? What's that mean? What do you mean, baby mode?
Yeah. Oh, or else. Yeah. The or else stuff is baby mode. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying anymore. Oh, Cloud of Darkness is like not that crazy without the BT, and a lot of it seems like, I don't know. BC, what's the next BT character that doesn't need their BT that much? Like Paladin Cecil really didn't need his BT.
It's not Cloud of Darkness. It's not Tidus. Not Yuna. Not X-Step. Zidane, maybe. Zidane can probably exist without his burst. I think that's might be it. And then Ace, and then there's a long string of them, and then again, it's all over the place.
So how do we feel about 2 characters per month that we have a 1% chance of getting from being viable? And I don't mean viable, I shouldn't say that, but from being the power that's intended for them, right? Like, we have the rate on it is so low. That's sort of crazy that they're now feeling a lot more required than they ever were early on.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, and I realized Genshin gave me this perspective. We transformed into a wide roster game to build around the 5 stars game, and it clicked for me when I finally got what's his name, Kazuha, and I'm like, my gameplay is going a lot smoother now that I have this 5-star character. And while there are, and I know there's like free-to-play character runs on Genshin, you're not really trying to do that. And readjusting my perspective on the game with that in mind. Like the state of JP now is you can definitely dick around and do LD list runs, and I think that's kind of what they were rebalancing around with burst, and it got a little rocky, but I think JP's hitting back in the swing of hitting that sweet spot. But I mean, I think that's what they were going for. So the rates stealthily got worse on it. So I don't. It's like you can't say 5 stars required in Genshin, just like you can't say BT is required for everything in DFFO at the moment. But it's just really like murky, and if you got them, you're gonna use them. So I am still like thinking about that. I don't even know what to think about it. I don't think it's a problem necessarily, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a deeper thought that I don't even know how to elaborate on, to be honest.
Yeah,
about it for weeks.
It's and I mentioned it to BC earlier. It may have even been today or something. But God, do you guys remember the times when entropy existed and it was like, Penello's a support. You can never have too many supports. Pull all the supports you can get. Pull all the healers you can get. You're gonna use them. You're gonna need them. They're great. That is now not a thing. No one is saying you can't have enough supports. It's like, no, you actually can have enough supports. I'm good. I'm just going to run the same support forever, and it doesn't matter.
You blued them, and you can justify them in enough spots because it's not like they're mass locking out units anymore. So your long-term investments can take you a while depending on the rest. And I like Gilgamesh. I was thinking about like I finally stopped doing the pull 2-week synergy thing because at this point the chaos and the challenges are so like crept that I can manage it with just EX plus. And now that we have EX extension with level 90, like those are strong enough to do chaos alone. That's even weirder. It's just a lot of previous assumptions and things we took as ideal in the game shifted around again without me really thinking about it, I think. And I really don't know what to say about it because it's just so I didn't realize it. But if you think about the game in like a 5 stars or godly, like BTs are the 5 stars and everyone else is a 4-star technically if you put it in Genshin terms. And I don't know where I'm going with it, but I don't think I have a problem with it at the same time. But it's just it's a different approach to things.
Don't play gotchas.
Yeah, or that clearly, or that.
we all do play it though. So
yeah, we do. Yeah.
Fine.
I don't know where I was going. How did we get there? You were talking about the support thing. Yeah, well, because people are coasting on single units nowadays, and I always say people ask how long does X character last, and I always say they last as long as you can make them work. And I think that's truer now than ever, just because with the blue ingot system, well, not blue ingot, but purple. Is it purple ingot? It's a purple ingot. That system, you can really stretch a unit out. Although it requires commitment, but at the same time, you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of them. So there's just so many systems in place, and there was, yeah, I guess outside of. I don't know, man. You can tell, like, I'm just kind of all over the place about it. And honestly, I prefer not to just think about it. I think I was going into how I skipped Gilgamesh's LD on JP because Well, first off, I just didn't feel like I'd use it ever. Like I've been constantly revisiting am I gonna use them again? And there's been so many units in JP that I've pulled as of late, and then I just don't touch them again, and I go back to burst units, and I don't know.
Like, Iroha was the most valuable pull that you had this month in JP, right?
I hate it here.
Like, what could they put? So do we think that her kit is so limited? And sorry to shift back to this.
No,
do we think that Iroha's kit is so limited because they didn't know how strong Brave Retention or Brave Coupon or whatever the hell you want to call it? Did they not know how good that would be? And they were like, well, we don't want to make her too good because this Brave Retention seems really, really strong. And when it turned out that it was cute, and hey, it works. It's very good with certain characters. I mentioned Transcendence 3 run with Sephiroth, Tifa, and Iroha where she's sole support. So like, definitely works sometimes. You can run it, but it feels like they missed the mark. Like her auras are such garbage, and she doesn't really deal enough damage to justify a hybrid build.
Yeah, and saying just run her with Ashe isn't sufficient enough. Like I was talking to Cyanwave earlier, and he's like, that's just like say it or just run them with Paladin Cecil. Like units being tied together isn't really like at least Yon can like function with other turn stealers and other stuff, but like I'm just not. We barely talked about Iroha, so clickbait achieved. It does feel like they under-tuned her.
There's not a lot to talk about. She heals the party. She's got some battery. She's got Brave Retention. She has no pretty average or below average damage. I guess it's average at best. It's not great, but it's average damage. Yeah. But we live in a Tifa world of damage and a Strago world of damage, and if they're not dealing Tifa and Strago level damage, then they are a step below from a damage perspective. That doesn't mean you can't meet turn count.
Yeah,
they still might work, but you have to put it in proper comparison, I guess. She just doesn't do that much, which is it's unfortunate. They should have given her a lot more. Yep. She has a really interesting kit. I wish they gave her more because the whole like EX use into EX plus use is really cool. That's novel and interesting. But her 2-turn call isn't a lot to talk about either. Like, hey, that's cool. Put it on a super slow character or go crazy with like, I guess Terra. I don't know who are you? You're gonna put that on a really slow character so that other characters can go ham. And you can go into burst mode and all this other stuff. And it's like, how much damage does that equate to? Is it as much damage as a Tifa LD call? Probably not. So like, is it even that good?
Opportunity cost is the name of the game.
Yeah, like you'd rather use Tifa's LD call to pound out a lot of damage and also she has a pretty good effect on her LD call also. Like that adds up to way more than Iroha. And you're also going to have Kurasame and you have Jack, and you probably have some other calls like Gabranth or Ignis that you also really like. And now all of a sudden, Iroha's call ain't doing that much for you. You're generally not even going to bring it unless maybe you need, I think it has a pocket heal or HP regen or something on it. I forget.
Jeremiah Larson asked, what are the units that I hyped, pull for, and didn't use? You can just check out my channel. Like Saz, I didn't use Saz again. I didn't use Fran again. I pulled Balthier and never used them.
How the hell did you not use Saz, man? Saz is great.
I use Saz, it's laziness, honestly. Lazy. I could definitely use Saz. But, sometimes, especially because I was behind, I'm just let me just bring a couple bursts and just blow it up and not care. Who else did I not use? Pain, I haven't used Pain again. I haven't used Sid again. Like I'm just looking back, like I'd be pulling shit and I'm like not like I haven't pulled anything in JP in like 5 banners in a row now. And that's I usually don't do that. But I was almost gonna pull Yuri because I said it. I had his game. I played the game, although I don't remember any of the story. I remember the music. And I'm like, man, this is exciting. But I'm like, am I gonna use him if I don't blue him or anything? And I'm like, I got Noel to deal with. And I don't know. It's I'm adjusting my perspective of the game. I feel fine about the game. If it's not obvious, I'm still feeling good about the game. I just fell behind just because other things. But not using Sid.
You also keep your mind on like 50 other things because you play Genshin. You do cooking. You work out. spend time with your girlfriend or whatever, like you definitely have a full plate of activities that you're not sitting around saying like, hey, why won't they update the game again?
Yeah. Or
Work-life
Drez,
balance.
I'm late to the stream. Who's everyone planning on bluing? Sephiroth. Somebody asked me in TCC server who they think they asked me if my blues added up, and I was like, I don't know, do they? Maybe I might hold off on Porum or Warrior Light, but I'm definitely Sephiroth blue, absolutely. Am I still learning Strive?
Already blued Strago, because I mean blue mage, so it's got to be done. But also just the damage is
that was a really bad joke.
Absurd.
That was a really bad joke.
It's outrageous.
That was a really
on
bad
fire.
joke.
It wasn't a joke. It was a genuine reason for the flavor purposes.
I hate that so much. Someone asked, "Am I still learning Strive?" That is taking low priority. Har has beat me. I'm kidding. Har's been meaning to practice with me. I was busy this weekend, last weekend, so I plan to get back into it. But I wanted to grind AR-45, honestly, so that took priority. But now that I did that, maybe I'll play some Strive later this week. Nine and Noel, Grandpa can cap. Yeah, I'm glad people. I'm glad we pushed out enough Strago propaganda. People listened because people are like, "Whoa, this is crazy." Use Pain again? No, Pain is too confusing. Okay, we are at an hour actually. So
yeah, we
nice.
are.
This is a good.
I need to. I'm hoping that Celeste and Sabin work well together. Despite Sabin not needing her enchant or anything, or her brave damage up really, but
what does that have to do with anything?
Bluing her armor.
Oh, right. Right, because she's getting her armor with
Hell yeah.
Lael. Oh yeah, nice. Hopefully that co-op doesn't suck. Not in the propaganda run, almost the prize. Y'all are hideous. So 170 concurrent viewers. That's pretty dope. The X sucks propaganda clickbait title may have been effective enough because Q&A definitely didn't bring in the concurrent.
It helps when it's true. Maybe you need to be more provocative.
Yes.
And do like Tifa sucks, and then you'd probably get a lot of.
Is that going to be it every week? Just X character of the week sucks. Maybe
your title hit it on the head, right? Like Iroha got so little. It's like Fujin level of little, in my opinion. Yes, she's better than Fujin, but not by a lot.
I think we'll leave it at
we
that.
are kind of clickbaiting.
No, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Necklord, closing thoughts. You can say it now, bitch.
We've got this title in all caps, and we're just here having a reasonable discussion with the occasional Necklord. I fucking hate you so much. Oh my. We're misleading people. We're all reasonable guys here, right? Right, Mino?
What?
Thank you. Mino, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. I don't know. Okay, I'll do the closing. I'll do this here because I don't want to pollute my own stream anymore. Closing thoughts.
What did he mean by this?
I don't know why there's so much debate right now about Iroha's age or how that's even relevant.
What? Okay, no. Not here. Nope. Not doing this. Nope. Get that bullshit out the fuck of here. Nope. Anything else?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But I want to see a source.
Bro, no. This brings out all the weirdos. I ain't with that shit, bro. It's just mad weird. Let's not. Okay. Any closing thoughts?
That threw me off guard. That shit's hilarious. I want more character board points for new players. I hope Squex caters to new players more, and I hope that the GL surprise is actually a good surprise.
Okay. My closing thoughts are, again, TCC server, link in the description. It's Mark's birthday week, so join the server. Tell him happy birthday week. He's streaming at event time, so you should tune into the TCC Twitch chat that I didn't put in the description, but you can join the server and find it there. That should be a fun time, because watching Mark fail to pronounce any of Iroha's skill names, and Mino will definitely get very, very triggered at it. I can sense his anger already at Mark just pronouncing everything wrong. I ate Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight. Y'all are hideous, and I'm gonna end the stream now. Have a good night. Like this stream, like the video. Thanks to Indolent Lord if he makes the timestamps again, because he probably will. Har, I'm beating your ass in Strive. All right, ending stream. Bye.